Okay, and now it's the afternoon. I'm going to walk you through what you're going to be doing with your team. And so the first thing, from 2 to 3 p.m., you're going to be working with your team and going through the ideas that you and your team generated, and picking the two that you think are the most promising to turn into prototypes. And so use the texo idea list, click there, and you're going to see the ideas of everybody on your team down here. And then below, you're going to see these buttons. They're a little hard to read. The visual design could be improved, and you're going to see the score. So obviously, I haven't entered any scores, so everything is 0, but it's going to give you the total score. Remember, we rated everything from 1 to 5 on the total score, the novelty, would you buy it, and business potential of every idea that your team generated. And then what you're going to do is select the 2 ideas. Maybe it's the ones with the highest scores. Maybe it's another one. Once you talk with your team, you see another has a better potential. And you're going to mark which ones you want to do for what we're calling the blue prototype and the yellow prototype. So think of them as the 2 best ideas that you would like to develop further. So let's say I want that one to be my blue prototype, and then this one to be my yellow. And if you change your mind and you want to switch it out, you can click this little X button right here, and then it will come back. Same with the blue one. You can hit that X, and then it will come back. And also, while you're doing this, you're going to see in real time what your partner is doing. So you guys need to decide together the blue and yellow prototype. You'll see each other as you click around this page, trying to select that. So once you've decided that those 2 are the ones that you want to use, hit click and submit and finish this texo. And spend a fair bit of time. We've allotted you an hour. Maybe it only takes you half an hour, but spend time. These are going to be 2 ideas you're going to work with for the next day and a half. One of which you're going to work with for the next 2.5 days. And then once you've done that, you're going to notice that on your table there are packets with mobile phones on them, or mobile phone outlines on them. One's yellow and one's blue. And using the 2 ideas you chose, take your yellow idea and prototype that on the yellow paper, and take your blue idea and prototype that on the blue paper. And when you're prototyping, it's a rough idea, and you're trying to convert whatever you had into a mobile interface. And so maybe your idea wasn't mobile, but what would an app look like for it? And I think an app is a really useful place to start because it forces you to start to leverage technology, right? To use technology in interesting ways to solve problems, right? Maybe you came up with a service idea. How would an app improve that service business, right? How would that give you a competitive edge that nobody else has? And so do that for an hour and then mark that as complete. And then once you're done with that, you now have your really rough sketch, and you have a description of what the app should be doing. On the side, you'll notice there's the little question about what's going on, and you've got your images, your little walkthrough. Now we want you to convert that into a digital prototype to share with other people. So I'm going to click the Texo Google Drive template. And so there's some instructions up here that are really important to follow. And so what you're going to do is you're going to copy these templates into your own Innovate Deli account. So if I click here for the yellow prototype, what you're going to see is a walkthrough, right? And it has some instructions here. And the first thing that you're going to need to do is copy this template into your Innovate Deli account. This is one that we're sharing through Team Innovate Deli. So you're going to go here and you're going to say, okay, make a copy. And I'm going to hit make a copy. And I'm going to call it my yellow prototype. Share it with the same people. That sounds great. Make sure you hit share it with the same people so that when we share these prototypes later on, everyone can have access to the document. Hit OK. And also make sure only one person on your team does this. I'll be wandering around helping people with this. Great. So we've done that. And then go to share. And then for you, what you're going to want to do is invite whoever's doing this, invite the other people on your team at innovatedeli.com and allow them so they can edit this document. And I'll be wandering around to make sure everybody's done this, right? For the yellow prototype, and make sure you've invited them to, so if I want, I could invite Rem at Innovate Deli. I'm inviting myself, but hey, you get the idea. Invite them so that they can share that document. And now you have this document, and it's got 3 parts. It's got the phone over here, a place to sketch a problem statement, a background, an image could go up here, something that conveys what's happening in your app. And then down here, text, describe what's happening and why. And you have multiple slides over here. And the goal is you want to do a walkthrough that creates a compelling vision for how your app helps solve your problem, helps implement your idea, that other people would find exciting, would find compelling, that they would find easy to understand and say, oh man, that does solve that problem. So everyone should be shared, again, on this document so you guys can collaboratively edit it. And then do the same thing for the blue prototype, right? So that's going to, instead of having a yellow box right here, I know, it's going to have a blue box. Duplicate this file. You can't edit it. It's a share only. Duplicate this file, and then once you've duplicated it, make sure you share it with the partners on your team. I'll be walking around again to help people out with that step. And then once you've done that, you'll have, so let's go to the yellow one where I made a copy. Go to the share button, and then there's a link to share. And so whoever's doing this, copy this link to share, go back to Texo, and paste that copy right here. And the reason we're doing that, this is really important to do, guys. The reason we're doing that is that we're going to share this link with other people later on, so that within Innovate Deli, so that they can evaluate these ideas without us having to pass around pieces of paper or print anything out, which is really annoying. So that link really needs to be right. I'll just be double checking it and coming around, but you're going to paste your yellow prototype link here, and then on the blue prototype, you're going to paste that here as well. And then you should get to building. You're going to start building, and over here you have a phone, and there's shapes here you can use to fill in. But we've also provided you with a link to some mobile interface components that are sketchy just for Android, and so you can start using these components, right? So let's take this one for example, and in your prototype, go in. You can paste them in. And they're going to be sized for the phone, right? And so now we've got this really nice, okay, this is great, but obviously maybe I'm not designing a SoundCloud app or something like that. What you can do is if you drag this, you can then, let's make sure. If you double click it, that's right. If you double click it, then you can crop this. And so I can move this down so that it looks like that. And now I have a keyboard, right? And so now I've got a keyboard on this page, which is awesome. And maybe I combine that keyboard with an arrow that looks like this, right? That is maybe a direction arrow. Let's say I want to rotate it. So this is an app that's letting me find a direction somewhere, and you can rotate that arrow. Maybe you put text in, but there's a ton of different mock-up elements across these pages that you can put in and then start to change. So maybe I want to take this menu item, or let's say take, what am I looking for? What do I want to put in? I could take, right, we've got that. Why don't I take this, the chat feature. I'm going to take this in, right? You paste that in, double click it. I'm going to hide that up there, move that right there. Oh, looks like that moved. Let's make sure that's aligned. Perfect. That then lives there, and then maybe it's, we want to place some text in, and you say, hi, wedding HQ, right? And so maybe what you're building is a set of personal assistants who help with your wedding. And what you do is you pull this keyboard in, because obviously you have to chat with them somehow, and it's like hi wedding HQ, and then you do another text box back, and you say wedding, and then you say how can I help you today, right? And you start building out this dialogue and what it would be like to chat with, let's say this was actually a chat service for like a wedding planner who would help you with what's going on and deal with problems for you. You'd walk them through that, and then maybe you're illustrating those problems evocatively here with a problem statement or an image, right? So maybe it's an image of a broken AC, something that's all on our minds. A broken AC over here, and then you describe what's happening, which is they're having a wedding and the AC broke. What are they doing next? Next slide would be, you'd start copying this stuff out, right? Start copying this over here. You'd say, okay, how can I, oh my God, let's say OMG, the AC broke. I will call a mechanic, right? Hi wedding AQ. So you start building out the AC broke, right? And so let's get this to look like a text dialogue. So that should probably go the other way, right? So this is from wedding HQ. Describe what is happening. Wedding HQ is responding, right? And so this way, you start building out, and let's say the AC broke. Let's go to broken AC images. Here we go. We'll just take this image, copy the image. And so then here, I paste this, create an image. Right. A little smaller, put that in there. Right. So now, and it says the AC broke, the AC unit broke at their wedding. And then it says, hi, Wedding HQ, how can I help today? Hi, Wedding HQ, the AC broke. Oh my God, the AC broke. I will call a mechanic. I will call a mechanic. Wedding HQ is responding. And you walk through a process of how your app would solve your solution, right? And you'll be generating it here as something that someone else can see. And it can be really rough like this, right? The goal is to give it a sense of how it would work, what the user experience would be like, and other people a real sense of what the problem would be. And so you're going to spend the afternoon doing that, and then you're going to get back to building. So I'm going to go to Rev's Texos. Obviously, this is done, but if you click here, you can come back. And I think it says that we're running at 4 to 5. If you guys want to stay at 10 p.m. working on your prototypes, really refining them, building that story, more power to you. We're not going to stop you. We're taking the training wheels off a little bit today and letting you do what you want. Thanks for watching. I definitely will be around for the prototype if you have any questions. But I think it should be really exciting, and I'm really excited to see the walkthroughs that you guys generate. Yeah, last thing about the walkthroughs, is really just make sure that these images and this text explaining what's going on is something that stands on its own without narration. So I'm narrating to you right now. I'd probably have to add a little more text, a little more image, a little more context for what's going on. But I trust you guys to be able to do it, and I think it should be a really great day. See you soon.